So, when you review what you learned in the morning, how do we recollect and review? The way of learning that we want to emphasize in this seminar is, the portion is from Ephesians chapter 4, verse 20 to 24. You can read it for yourself. Ephesians 4, 20 to 24. Can we read those verses loudly?
When you heard of Christ and were taught and went in accordance with the Apostles of Jesus, you were taught with the regard of your former ways of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by the desires, to be made new in the attitude of your mind, and to put on the new self, created to be like God, in true righteousness and holiness.
So if you look at that, there are 3 levels of learning there. The first is 21. You heard, you are taught. Or you are taught and you heard. This is communicating information. It happens at the intellectual level. Most of our learning in school, college, happens at this level of intellect. You are taught something, you hear it, you receive it. Most of the information would have added to your memory, if you remember it. But what did it do to your life, personal life? Chemistry. Do you remember the formula of benzene? Then why did you study it? Why we studied? Any purpose?
At that age, it's supposed to know what it is. At that age, it is a purpose to know what it is.
Why?
To qualify for particular exam.
Did it do anything to your life? No. That's the thing I am emphasizing. Somewhere we are taught many things. Elders said that you need to learn this because they have a pattern or something. Why that pattern is there, we still do not know, but we learn. You also study newspaper and find out cricket score. What does it do to your life? Does it change your life in any way? It doesn't change your life. Information that are not needed for life, we gather. Information which can be passed on to others as information. Cricket score is mainly to tell others that I know the score. What else for?
Some excitement.
Pardon?
Some excitement.
Why the excitement? because I know
Like
it.
a game or something.
Think about it. Where does that take? Okay. If you have lot of information, what will happen? Can you read Ephesians and 1 Corinthians 8 chapter verse 1?
Now, regarding your question about food that has been offered to idols, yes, we know that we all have knowledge about this issue. But while knowledge makes us feel important, it is love that strengthens the church.
Not important. Another translation? Knowledge puffs up. Any other translation? Arrogant. Arrogant, puffed up. Spurgeon wrote, all that puffs up is useless. He used to have gout arthritis. So the fingers will swell up, and he wrote to his friend, all that puffs up is useless. He can't do anything. Arrogant. The more we have information, it may make us proud, feel important. And what happens to the proud man, proud woman? God resists the proud. God resists the proud. Do we want to add to the danger? Already we have. Information. I'm also interested in that word IT. Now, which most of you are involved in information technology. Do you know what is the claim of that information technology? All that is needed is information. In my time, information was here. In your time, information is in the Google. Away from your brain. You don't have any? I don't have any use for the brain. In course of time, it may get atrophied also. Earlier, Indian doctors are supposed to be the best doctors in the world because they didn't have any of these equipment. They had to make all diagnosis by watching, seeing, palpating, feeling, everything. Anywhere they go, they can manage. When the equipments have come, the brain has started not functioning. Yes. Beware of it also. It may not be all that healthy, as they say. Bible also says it can make us proud. What's the next level? Can you read 22 and 23? Ephesians 4, 22 and 23. Yes, you are reading.
You were taught, with regard to your former way of life, to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self.
Okay. Renewed in the spirit of your mind. This is an experience. Something happens with it. It may be at the emotional level. You hear about your exam results. You are excited, or if it is failure, devastated. Yes, hear about report from the doctor. You can be very happy or it can make you sad. So something happens within your mind. And also some changes begin to happen in the mind. The way of thinking, renewed in the mind. Something happens within the mind. 24th verse.
Upon the new self, it's in the likeness of Christ, being created in righteousness and holiness of truth.
Put on the new man. It is transformation. This happens in the spiritual level. Your behavior begins to change, your character changes, your value system changes, attitude. So you begin to have a new way of living now. New way of living. All the three steps are important in learning. Modern learning stops here with information. The word you use is I know. Here the word is I have. Many of the things you know may not be what you have in life. You may know it, but you are not having it. But today, if you know, you say that's enough. Because that's the way you have been taught in the college and school. Learning process was, if you know, that's enough. You have passed. You have rank. What is examination? Examination is testing you how much you don't know. The question papers are formed in such a way that how much you don't know they test. They don't test you how much you know. I feel it's a negative way of doing it. You may know so much, they don't want to know how much you know. Most difficult question, they find out from somewhere and put it. Now, is this the way we learn? You study Bible and you said, I have read many passages and you know the stories. By the end of Sunday school time, most of the children know all the stories in the Bible. Many verses also they know. But their life may be worse than the old. Because by that time they have become youth, they get into a lot of problem, friendship. Their life remains confused or even worldly. It doesn't change. But you may know the Bible. That means you have learned only what level? Information level. Information level. This integrated way of learning is what we are going to have here in this integrated way. So every time you learn, see what is happening within you, and later what is happening to my life also. How do these two things happen? Can I produce them? This you can, by making effort, you can accumulate information, read. But can I produce any change in my behavior? Coaching and training can refine a person. You can be trained to say thank you without a thankful heart. You can say, please come in without having any respect for that person. So that is possible. I often think about military academy. When they are trained in military academy, by the time they complete, their manners are very polished and shoes are also. Shoes and manners are polished. But during wartime, they create atrocities. Have they changed? You can be trained to be a surgeon and do the horrible type of medical practice. Is it not? So it doesn't change my behavior. You were not speaking in English, now you can speak in English. But you can become more arrogant. How does this happen? 2 Corinthians, 3rd chapter, verse 18. Yes.
We all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord who is the Spirit.
Can we read another translation different from this?
But we all, with open face beholding, as in a glass, the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord.
Any other?
And we who with the unveiled faces all reflect the Lord's glory are being transformed into His likeness with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord who is the Spirit.
Reflect. Is there any other word for that in the footnote?
Or contemplate.
Contemplate. Reflect is contemplate. Contemplate means meditate in silence. Contemplate. Meditate in silence. As you wait on the Lord's word and meditate on that, yes, see the glory of God. Reflect the glory of God. Where do you reflect the glory? Where do you see the glory of God? In the Word of God. As you see the glory of God in the Word of God, as you meditate on that, you are beholding that, the Spirit of God is working in you to transform you from one degree of glory to another. If a cancer patient is taken for X-ray treatment, if he has cancer in the neck, every day he will be put on the X-ray tube. He doesn't see anything. The swelling is so big. After 21 days, the swelling is not there. Unknown to him, not seen by him. Something is working in him and changing his disease. That's about X-ray. Spirit of God, same way. He said, my words are spirit and life. So as you behold the word of God, meditate on the word of God, the Spirit of God is working in you, transforming you from one degree of glory to another. Provided you allow this to happen. Provided we allow this to happen. That's why the word meditation is going to be emphasized in this seminar. Meditating on the word of God and also on contemplation. One example, if you touch an electric wire, what you will get? Information. When you touch it, what you get? Experience. What transformation happens? You will never go near that again. You're completely changed, transformed in that aspect. If you eat more and more food and sugar, you will gain weight. What's that? Information. When you eat, it is very tasty. What transformation happens? You're 80 kilos now. Completely changed. Does it happen with the Word of God? Does it happen with the Word of God? So, let us see now. Morning we studied a portion about the purposes of life, Bible. You heard, you gathered information. Was anything happening within you? In the emotional level? After that, is there anything happening in the deeper level? Can you take time to write? What did I experience during the morning study time? Write few sentences.